Oh, what's good, guys? Well, what isn't good, guys? We finally lose a Derby della Madonnina. Milano is no longer black and blue for tonight, or for at least, until the next derby, because the streak is over. The 6 winning streak is over. The dream was to make it 7. But we got our asses kicked. That was atrocious. That was probably the worst Derby di Milano that we've had in 2 seasons since since the Napoli Scudetto season, the 21-22. I think this is the worst derby that we've played. It was disgraceful. The way that this Inter team think that they can just go on the pitch and copy and paste what they did last year, or just win because they're champions now. I'm seeing some full bellies out there, guys. I know if you don't know what that means, the full belly, I think some of these guys have full bellies after the title win last year. And that shouldn't be happening, because that's all they won. It was a Scudetto, and a Scudetto that they should have won anyway. So I see a lot of arrogance. I see a lot of laziness. And you've just lost to a Milan team that has been pretty embarrassing themselves at the beginning of the season, and you just gave them a bounce back, and it seems like you gave their manager probably a few more weeks in the job, Paulo Fonseca. Not good, guys. Not good. That is not how you play a Derby di Milano. Milan, I expected in my previous, I said, I know they've been playing really shit. They've been awful, but I expect some pride, a fight back. And they did. But I expected more from this Inter team. I expected a lot more from this Inter team. And the Milan team was there to be taken. Like, there were so many opportunities, so much, like, defensively, they're still so weak. Our strikers not scoring. Lautaro still hasn't scored. And our big players all had stinkers. I think the only guy that I saved today is Di Marco and maybe Bastoni. That's it. Those are the 2 guys I would save today. That was an absolutely shameful performance, guys. And there's 102 people of you in here. I know we're not feeling good. We're not feeling positive unless you're a Milanista or a Juventino in there, or another Serie A team fan. But before we get started, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. This is going to be painful therapy session, I guess, and let's go through your comments and all the disappointment with you guys. And this is how actually the table is looking at the moment. A very, very weird looking Serie A table at the moment, which, again, we are going to get into all the negatives, but I mean, one negative already. After all that, we are on the same point as Milan now after 5 games. That is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And we've conceded only 2 goals less than this atrocious defensive Milan team. And they scored 1 more goal than us. So that's a negative. But in general, we are, it's like we're 1 win behind Torino. Obviously, Torino not going to stay up there. Napoli, of course, under Conte, they might be a force to be reckoned with. Juve, of course, they've come back of 3 nil-nils consecutively. So nothing is lost. It's not the end of the title race. It's not the end of anything. What I hope this is, it's a wake-up call. These guys need to wake up. Wake the hell up. Wake the F up before it's too late. Because this derby had a lot of similarities to the derby, again, the ones that we're talking about in the past, where Inzaghi made some bad substitutions, bad choices, bad defending, poor chance taking, and then we got punished by Giroud, Leao in the past, and today, bloody Matteo Gabbia, out of all people, who actually had a very good game, fair play to him. One of the only Italians in this Milan team, or the only Italian in this Milan team today. Awful. Oh yeah, let's start going through your comments. I'm not going to be able to stay on for very long today, guys. I've got an early flight in the morning. I'm going to the Netherlands. I'm going to Amsterdam for work for a week, so I have an early flight to catch in the morning. But as always, I'll be here with you guys to unload the negativity off your shoulders. Rico says there's something really off with this team at the moment. Yeah, at the moment we've talked about it. I think it's, of course, Inzaghi substitutions today, choices. I'm still feeling like physically this Inter team is not quite there at the moment. Like Milan, of course, we played a day. We talked about it. We played a day after Milan as well. We went away. Milan played at home to Liverpool. We played away to Manchester City, and I think, of course, there might be some maybe energy exertion there or some fatigue. I was watching the Italian commentary and they were saying that Barella came off and he had to put ice on his muscles because he's feeling some fatigue. And it still looks like this Inter team isn't quite there yet physically. So that's definitely one thing. And then our big players, guys, at the moment are just missing. Some of the big players are missing. Lautaro is the guy. I keep talking about it. You know, there is a reason why we were so good last year defensively as well, because we were scoring, breaking down teams much earlier. And Lautaro still on 0 goals. Realistically got an assist, but he's still on 0 goals. Our captain at the moment is still missing. Thuram had his flurry of goals at the beginning, first couple of games. Now he's gone missing. And Inzaghi didn't even sub those two off today, which I was surprised about. He subbed off the whole midfield and some of the defense, but he didn't touch Lautaro and Thuram, who maybe should have been. And yeah, I mean, again, I don't know about the needless rotation and the meaningless draw against Man City. I still completely disagree with you guys. We're talking about the Monza team was good enough to beat Monza, man. Like, again, these players just not performing. It's not about if he changes 3 or 4 players. This is what this team is made for, guys. The starting 11 today was the best starting 11, and they just didn't perform. We started off like just so soft. The first 10 minutes that Inter played was one of the worst first 10-15 minutes I've seen this Inzaghi team play. I'm not going to say the worst, because we've definitely seen a lot worse. Maybe in the derby, it might have been the worst start to a derby I've seen in a long, long time, because they just were completely... Milan were just walking through us. Horrid performance. Horrid, as Rizero here says. Ridwan says we won during the Man City, but at what cost? Mattia, after point in Manchester, cost of the derby and Monza get your priority straight, or this season can already end. But again, we keep going back to this Monza Man City. Like, there's so many games, guys. He can't we rotated against Man City as well. He changed 4 players against Monza, and he changed 4 players against Man City. And today he played his best starting 11. I don't really get why the Monza thing keeps coming up. The players are underperforming. The players that played against Monza underperformed. The players that played today underperformed. The players that played against Genoa underperformed. This is underperformance by the players. All the players. I don't think it's a choices or rotation thing. The rotation, you can argue at some points maybe, but today was the best starting 11. And they dropped the ball. The best starting 11 dropped the ball. And the fatigue should have come in afterwards anyway. If we're talking about the start of the game, regardless of what we played against Man City, the first 30 minutes, the players were just not on it. Mentally, they weren't there. Physically, they weren't there. They just weren't switched on. And I think this is the angriest I've seen Inzaghi ever in an Inter game. That the zone commentators kept talking about how he's screaming continuously, getting out of his bench, coming out of his technical line, took his tie off. He was screaming the whole game, absolutely deservedly so. But then he also was at fault for some of those decision making. Like, why would you take Hakan off? Why would you take Barella off? Okay, maybe fatigue, but completely changing the trio midfield. Yes, Mkhitaryan definitely had to come off. But everything else, very, very questionable today by Inzaghi. Very, very questionable. Inzaghi thinks all the players are equal, but they are not. But this is the thing, guys. I don't know how understand how this narrative on Inzaghi now is changing. This is exactly what we always say with Inzaghi, that he didn't rotate enough in the past, or that he didn't use the squad enough. I don't understand this change of narrative now. It's just, to me, it's not the choices or the rotation. It's the complete arrogance and attitude of these players. And this is what, in the pre-season, when we were building up in the previews of this season, guys, and Inzaghi also said himself, what's the biggest threat to this Inter team, guys? It's not Juve, it's not Milan, it's Inter themselves. What happened to Napoli last year? What happened to Milan the year before? It's that post-Scudetto full belly, that feeling that, oh, we won the Scudetto, we're the champions, we've got the patch, thinking that 95% effort can do. No, you have to go out there again with even more hunger to get the wins. Teams are going to be going after you. Now you are the champions. Everyone wants to beat you. The derbies, Milan now, obviously, it's a law of average. They had to win at some point. I was expecting the loss at some point, but the way that you can lose the derby as well, this is not the way. And this is what I'm fearing with this Inter team. Inzaghi talked about it, that this is his biggest fear, that he wants his team to not fall off after a Scudetto. And at the moment in the league, the first 5 games, there has been complacency, there has been some arrogance, there's been a fall off, and it's not been good enough. It's not been good enough, and it does hurt to watch, Ron. It does hurt to watch. And yeah, Nikhil, 100% we deserve the loss. Let's have a quick look at the stats just overall. We had slightly more possession, but look at the XG. Completely deserved. Milan had way more better chances. It could have been actually 3-1, 4-1, to be honest, especially at the end. Okafor should have finished this chance. We completely 100%, Nikhil, deserved that loss. Yeah, easily one of our worst games. This could end up like 2 seasons ago, where they completely dropped the ball in the league and went far in Europe. It could be. But again, very, very early days. But the signs, there's some bad signs at the moment. There's some bad signs that this team is getting a little bit complacent, a little bit lackadaisical. And yeah, Zoma definitely today. Sorry, I forgot to say, I should have mentioned not just Di Marco Bastoni, Zoma as well. Probably man of the match, to be honest. The energy was both halves. First half, we started very low energy level. Second half, you think, okay, we messed up that first half. Now the second half, we're going to be hungry. No. Second half, Milan start better again, and the whole second half was just an absolute mess. Gabri says, too complacent, because see it's coming by Inzaghi, poor subs as well. Combination of things. I hope Inter can regroup. They have to now regroup and fight back. They have to. Fratesi and Aslani are the worst midfielders I've ever watched. What they are to the Demir. Fratesi goes to you. Hope to sell him. Well, okay. Some little bit overreaction from Adam here. Our players look so leggy, preseason intensity. Yeah. I mean, now I'm thinking, did they go a little bit overboard in this preseason? This is what I'm starting to think, that maybe it was a little bit too intense, because we still, as I said in my preview yesterday, I'm thinking maybe I was predicting this Inter team to now start to hit this like peak fitness, physical form, but I think we might have to wait till October, as Indra says here. We're almost in October, and we're still not really seeing this team being, like today. I want to actually have took at the duel winning. Like, we lost so many duels today. Like, we were just always second to the ball, pretty much lost everything. And that's not even like a technical thing. Like, that's just like desire, but also physical. Like, are these guys just heavy on the legs? I don't know. Ahmad says he's in Porto. I haven't seen the Monza City games, only to come back and have Gabia. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro, if your vacation is ruined now. But yeah, come back. We need you, Ahmad. We need you. Yeah, this reminds me a lot of the Giroud. Yeah, exactly. It does remind me of that. Although in that, at least we actually played better, Anthony. If you remember, we actually deserved to or it was kind of a lot more balanced derby, and we probably had maybe slightly better chances than Milan. Just kind of woke up in the end of that game. This one is kind of like it was just. I mean, for neutrals, this must have been a great game to watch. For me, for us, Interisti, and for Milanisti, it was painful to watch. But end to end, open. Defensively, we were shambles, but so were Milan. But Milan created more. Milan created more, and they definitely deserved the win today. No complaints from me on the results. Rydell, thank you for joining the channel membership, bro. I haven't seen you before, but appreciate it. We played bad 3 games without a win. Yeah, that's true. That's 3 games without a win. They are playing in slow motion. Sorry, but this season is over. Okay, all right, guys. This season is not over. The season is not over. Calm down. Calma. Calma. But yeah, it does feel like these guys are playing in slow motion. And maybe this is the kick up the arse that they needed. We've been unbeaten. There was that stat that came out the other day that, there's 30 teams in Europe at the moment unbeaten, and Inter one of them. And last season we went quite a while unbeaten as well. But I think this season we needed a kick up the arse. I think, to be honest, we needed this. We might reflect on this. Well, I'm hoping and knowing, from now what we know of the team and Inzaghi, that we'll look back on this in a few weeks, in a few months, maybe at the end of the season, as kind of one of the moments that spurred us on. Maybe I'm just, copium or just complete gas. But I feel like this team, the way that we've been playing since the start of the season, apart from the Atalanta game, this is the kick up the arse that they needed. This is the kick up the arse that they needed. And yeah, congrats to Milanisti out there. It's about time, to be honest. It's about time that you win one again. Low of averages. Like, it had to be, at one point, you had to win one. It definitely would have rather not be this one. But it had to happen. But congrats to you guys. And now you can come out of hiding from, especially for people that live in Milano. Lazy performance, as Onze says, if the player's not to be told to get physical. Yeah, that first goal, my goodness. We'll get into it. I've got the screenshots. That was embarrassing. Anto, this is why it's all effed from Monza. Bigger picture, we screwed it all up well in advance. Wow, point in Manchester with a feet. Yeah. I mean, that point in Manchester now seems very, very useless. Very, very useless. But Champions League is going to be a long slog. The way the new format works is going to be a long slog. Lab Gorilla, yeah, congrats to you as well, bro. You guys, you've been suffering for a while, so fair play. The game was lost when we subbed our midfield, the same string problem that we had in the Monza game. Yeah, but I feel like, Alex, today, could you really confidently say that I agree that Inzaghi's subs I completely disagree with Inzaghi's subs. I would have not made pretty much every single sub that he made today. I would have brought on Zielinski instead of Frattesi first. I would have kept Hakan on, and I definitely would have subbed one of Lautaro and Thuram because they just looked like, a little bit gassed. I would have brought Taremi on for sure. But the way that our starting midfield was playing and fatiguing as well, I don't think I have the confidence to say that we would have won this game with them on either. Maybe we could say that maybe it would have drawn the game, which still would have been okay. Aslan is not a football player. Yeah, he didn't have particularly any good impact into the game today. But I think, again, I think our worst player today was probably Mkhitaryan. I think Mkhitaryan, the 2 geriatrics, the 2 oldies today were the worst players. Inzaghi's 2 trusted soldiers, Acerbi and Mkhitaryan. 2 worst players today. Really, really bad. Acerbi at fault for both goals. Sorry, Acerbi at fault for the first goal and at fault for many of the chances we gave away. Not for the second goal. He wasn't anywhere near the play. And Mkhitaryan for that first half, the first goal, he was at fault too. And in general, he was just awful. And yeah, I know there's like some guys that defend Mkhitaryan here because they're Armenian and it's like about respect. They respect Mkhitaryan. Well, I respect, if people know me on this channel, I respect Henrik Mkhitaryan a lot. I've been saying, let's wait and see before we talk about a guy that's maybe washed or he's fallen off. But now we're 5 games into the season and also Champions League. And Mkhitaryan's had 1 decent game this season against Atalanta. And today he was absolutely awful. Poor passing completion. Because that 3 duels lost, no aerial duels won. This is where he shines in technical security and duel winning. and he provided none of those. He was really bad, and now Inzaghi really needs to take a look whether he should be the starter without, the always a certain starter, the trio that we know, the Barella, Çalhanoğlu, Mkhitaryan. That Mkhitaryan part now needs to be questioned. It cannot be always Mkhitaryan anymore. Adam says, sick and tired of seeing Asllani, Frattesi, Mkhitaryan. Well, then now you're talking, that's half our midfield, bro. We've got 6 center midfielders, and you're sick of 3 of them. So that means you'd only want to see Zielinski. I mean, I respect your opinion, but again, I feel like you very, very exaggerated here. But on the Mkhitaryan thing now, I've got to that stage now where, today, especially Mkhitaryan in derbies, he's been one of our better, most consistent performers in the derbies. Last time he scored was the 2 goals he scored against Milan. What is he offering now? If he's not offering it physically, he looks so like he's struggling. Obviously, age things as well. But technically, which is one thing I would expect from Mkhitaryan, he's not offering the certainties. Defensively, decision-making, as an experienced player, he gets his decision-making wrong a lot of times. He needs to be questioned for sure. I love how Inzaghi plays football. Ludi says, I really feel like his player picks are always wrong. Dumfries should have stayed on the field. Yeah, Dumfries on as well. Like Darmian, what did really Darmian do or offer as a substitute? What's he really going to do? And he had a free header at the end, which he did nothing with. It was a hard one, but still. No, bro, the best 11 had Zielinski instead of Mickey. Yeah. No, but I mean, in theory, Nikhil, like we're saying Zielinski now because, the last game, I was there watching it live and I was very impressed by Zielinski. But you know what we mean, like Dumfries there, the trio midfield. But that's what we're saying now. We've narrowed it down that there's players that have been underperforming at the beginning of the season. Mkhitaryan, Thuram. Well, not Thuram, sorry. Thuram's been probably our best player apart from recently. Lautaro. Today, Hakan, I wouldn't say he underperformed today, but because kind of the way Milan played, it kind of took him out of the game. Pavard was very shaky today. And I'm talking like these are the starters, like these are our best players not performing. And Acerbi today, awful. And these are the spine of our players, guys. These are the spine of our team. So if these guys are not gonna perform for you, you're in trouble. You're in big, big trouble. And fats off to Fonseca as well. Under pressure, what in theory you think is a very attacking formation, but it really was interesting tactical switch that Fonseca did that really nullified Inter. Lautaro on his 9 million net, chillaxing. We've seen that a few times, haven't we, at Inter? Like after the players get their contract renewal, sometimes we've seen it. Not just at Inter, in general, in life, you see it in football. When a player's contract is expiring or when they're fighting for that new contract, you see the best form of their life. And then as soon as that pen to paper is signed, sealed, delivered, you see that drop off. With Lautaro, I still feel like there's other reasons of how he came back from the Copa America and everything else. But at the moment, there's only so many weeks that we can give him excuses. I mean, Lukaku came to Napoli with 0 preseason. He wasn't even training with his Chelsea team, and he's already got 2 goals, 2 assists. Stanislav is really pissed off. If we don't wake up in the next 3 games, the season is over, not because of the results, but because of the mentality, arrogance, and laziness. Bam! Stanislav has it. Bang on. Bang on. If you don't wake up, I don't know if it has to be 3 games, but really soon you need to start turning it around. Really, really soon. Oh, midfield backups S. Why would you change your entire midfield? Yeah, I agree. Why is going with Lautaro? Yeah, man, I don't know. Why the fitness thing doesn't seem on point. Even Pavard, I mean, it's Pavard really, really shaky today. Really, really shaky. He's finished this buy-in boost. If you know what he means. Frattesi's worst player. Oh my god, Adam! Oh my god, this guy keeps going on and on. Frattesi is definitely not the crux of the issues right now, bro. But I guess it's is the point that you picked on, and Aslani. I get it, bro. I get it. You're not happy with Aslani, Fatezi, and Mkhitaryan. I get it. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much. But this is it, guys. This is where you get your frustrations out. Hey, look at that. Speaking of Milanisti as well, old Haro Sonero. Make sure you check him out. I'm sure he's finally got a positive reaction to a game. Positive reaction to a game. Yeah. You're better than City, guys. You're better than City. Retiro Ace out. I mean, Inzaghi didn't do a retiro when we had 7 points in 7 games in the first season. He didn't do a retiro when we had 12 losses in the second season under him. So he's not going to do a retiro just because we have won in 3 games. So yeah, I understand your feelings, especially like the way that these guys played out there. Like I feel like someone should beat them round the back sides, like with a belt, but Retiro's not happening, guys. We have had the worst game of the season against Milan to respond them and give them great confidence. Yeah, and I hope this doesn't wake Milan up now. We need to find the fire again to prove that we are the best team in Italy. I hope this is a blessing in disguise. Yeah, exactly. This is what I said earlier, Terry. This is what I hope to. Pavard was again a disaster. Cherby, Bastoni exhausted. You cannot let Di Marco play 90 minutes, especially against speedy wingers. Is tired. Foul led to Milan's goal. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, when Augusto was coming on, actually, I was thinking that it was for Di Marco. But that's one other thing. I mean, like, if we look actually, how many yellow cards did we get today? The team, was this another sign that how nervous and mentally the team wasn't there? Look at this. So we have 1, 2, 3. And then Aslani is all 4 yellow cards. That's that's quite a few yellow cards. And then one of the crux today, I think, was like we lost pretty much. I haven't looked at it, but I am 100% sure we must have lost a lot of duels, definitely more than Milan. Let's have a look. Yeah, look at this, guys. 27 duels won against Milan's 43. Now, football is not about duel winning. This is not MMA. This is not boxing. This is not Anthony Joshua versus Dubois. But this is basics. Football is about technique. It's about skill, tactics. But the basics is winning your duels, especially in a derby. And this is embarrassing. 27 duels won against 43. 34% of our ground deals we won. So nowhere near half. Milan won 66%. This just shows you Milan wanted it more. Aerial duels, 11. Milan won 12. Even there. Dribbles, obviously, yeah, we know we don't dribble. Well, actually, this is actually another point as well. How many times did this Milan team today dribble through us? Straight through the middle, not even on the side, like straight in the middle of us. I mean, the goal came from that, but even outside of that, how many times did we see Pulisic, Leao, Reinders, Abraham, Morata, straight through the middle of us? 9 successful dribbles. Again, duel winning or duel losing. That's what we were doing today. After 65 minutes, we just fell off. This physical drop-off was scary. Yeah, really, really scary, because you think, like, fresh players on the pitch, Inter going to throw the kitchen sink. Awful. And yeah, to be honest, like, I don't know about 2x better than Benji. Bisek played his first big game finally last week against Man City. That's the first time he's played a big game. But at some point, we're going to have to start talking about this, that whether Bisek might need to start ahead of Benji if he plays like he was today. Pavard, not good at all. Should I say, is it time to get into the... Not happy, we had to stop by and show love. Yeah, thank you, Nick Knox. Thank you. And I'm not happy as well. But we're here to unload and have our recovery therapy session. Everyone says, my opinion, Barella and Chala got sub too early and we went out of ideas. Yeah. But that's also why on the zone commentary, the Italian commentary, they were saying that's why Zielinski came on, because he said, Inzaghi was saying, let's go through the middle, let's penetrate through the middle. And yeah, even Zielinski wasn't able to add that. But I agree. that those substitutions were completely wrong, in my opinion. Last goal came from a bad DiMarco pass. That's why it was late. Yeah, I mean, we know he's just not got that much fitness, which is kind of embarrassing to say that about your players, that he can't complete 90 minutes. No, thank you, Spiders. Thank you for coming through. Make sure you leave a thumbs up, guys. Please, at least cheer me up. Hopefully wake up from this loss. What's this about defending champions in the past years? They always, yeah, exactly. This is what Inzaghi was fearing, and quite rightly. And I hope he's got the stick at Piano Gentile at the training sessions next time. Okay, guys, I'm only going to stay on for another 10 minutes. As I said, I've got early flight in the morning. So I'm going to go through my analysis / screenshots. First of all, Toto Schillaci was given a tribute at the beginning of the game. If you don't know, Toto Schillaci, legendary, iconic striker for Italy, especially Italia 90, passed away the other day. Only 60 years of age. Very sad. Rest in peace. And that's what the minute of silence was for at the beginning of the game. But Inter stayed silent. Inter stayed asleep for that beginning of the game. And that's where the first goal came from. As we said, Mkhitaryan, probably my flop of the game. Awful performance by Mkhitaryan. Yeah, 60 is too young. 60 is too young. Bro, I'm not, Ben Jobs, I'm not going to be answering questions about boxing, bro. Like, and especially if you ask like that. I just saw the highlights of the boxing. Mickey, awful loss. Like, this was from a throw-in. Why would you try to control it there? So that's what we're talking about. He's 35-year-old, decision-making. Time to learn Arabic. Awful decision-making. Poor technical execution of the decision as well. I mean, even if you decide to control it, there's a way of doing it so you can win the foul there, getting your body in the way so Pulisic doesn't get it. So he does that. But that's only the beginning. After that, Pulisic has 3 guys to get past. So 2 screenshots here. So he wins the ball. Mkhitaryan's complaining about handball, which there wasn't. Then Pulisic gets past Hakwa. I think he was already past Hakan, so that doesn't count. But look where Acerbi is. Acerbi is already in the wrong position. Doesn't have the pace to recover. Pavard is trying to cut off the lane, but he doesn't do it quick enough because he thinks Acerbi is going to get... He thinks Acerbi is going to get to the center much quicker, but he doesn't. Acerbi keeps jockeying and moving too slowly. Then tries to moving onto the screenshot on the right-hand side. Acerbi tries to make a tackle, but Pulisic, with his pace, moves in. Acerbi doesn't want to make the foul. Puts his hands up and, backs out of the tackle. Pavard still doesn't get anywhere near it. And then Pulisic ends up slotting in. That is embarrassing goal. You cannot concede. Only in real life, in FIFA, you can score goals like this straight to the middle. In real life, in real professional football, at top level football, you very rarely see goals right through the center because it just doesn't happen, because either you get fouled or you get stopped. There is no way that Pulisic should be able to run through right to the center of that, of these two. Absolutely awful, disgraceful goal. And this is even, I think, I don't know, maybe it's in the heat in the moment, I think this is worse than the goal we conceded in the derby to Leao. You guys remember the one where Leao just does a fake shot on De Vrij and Bastoni, goes past them and then slots it past Andanovic. That was straight through the middle as well. I think this is even more embarrassing than that one. I don't know. Or the same derby, the Giroud goal, where he just mishits it into the corner. I think it's on that level or worse. That is, especially for, Acerbi went from pocketing Haaland the other day to this performance today. And yeah, definitely there's probably some fatigue, but there's also the factor that, we've been talking about in the summer. He's 35, 36 years old. I mean, he was never the quickest. This is one of Inter's weaknesses, lack of athleticism at the back. But Benji Pavard, again, I don't particularly blame him directly for this, but I feel like he could have done a little bit more here to close off Pulisic's angle, and he should have a little bit more of that athleticism and pace to get there. So, yeah, it is a good goal by Pulisic. I also have respect with the way he dribbled and carried in the pace. Yeah, game by game, Mickey gets worse. He has to be benched. I agree. Our two centre backs are too slow. Yeah, and that's the thing. Even if De Vrij was there, that still remains quite a weakness in that position. But I think the mistake from Acerbi was in the left screenshots where he's still trying to half cover Abraham for some reason, where he should just be back into his position. He should be in front of Pulisic already there, sprinting to get into that position, where he's, for some reason, side jockeying. And then there, maybe Pavard should have read the situation. So it was poor from both of them, to be honest, but definitely much more Acerbi's fault. Yeah, they should have just, at the end of it, they should have just fouled him, to be honest. Should have just fouled him. What do you think about with Benji, right wing back, myself? I don't really know. I mean, Pavard, the whole reason why he moved to Inter was that he doesn't want to play right back or right wing back. Like, he doesn't want to play that position anymore. He likes, like, the right centre back position lets him like roam up and down a little bit. Like, sometimes you see him in that position, but I don't really see what problems they really solve. What problem does that solve, Aziz, really? I don't really see that solving a problem. The right wing back, you still have Ben Pavard is not really great going forward either. Like, he doesn't have 1v1 ability, just like Darmian and Dumfries. And he's maybe quicker than Darmian, but definitely not as quick as Dumfries. So I don't think that solves any issues. We need to have a conversation about Pavard. Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. Pavard had a really good season last year. So as well, like, let's calm down with some of these judgments. But at the moment, this beginning of the season, I agree. Pavard also not been that good. But I wouldn't put him in that category either. I don't know how Dumfries is in that category this season. He's barely played as well. I think a lot of them were tired from starting. I should start with guys who did not play. Yeah, I think Zielinski definitely. I wasn't mad at the fact that he started his starting 11, but then as long as this is the learning from Inzaghi, that now like that trio or the starting 11 that we had last year is not the best starting 11 now. It's time to insert Zielinski into that, and he deserved it. I think Zielinski's performance against Man City deserved it. He deserved it, and he hasn't played much, so he would have been kind of still fresh as well in theory, because he hasn't played much for Inter. Only for Poland he played in the international break. Bisek as a right wing back would make more sense. Maybe. Borja Valero. Who mentioned Borja Valero? Did someone mention Borja Valero? Did I miss something? Oh yeah, live Aslani time. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that. I mean, Aslani needs, like, he needs what Bellanova just did, a loan. Like, he needs to play for a Torino, a Monza, Hellas Verona, like just some mid-table team that he can just play and learn the trade. He's just not going to get the minutes to learn properly at Inter. I mean, that would be. I mean, still, I think striker position. I mean, I know that numerically, and especially in Inzaghi, he will say we've got 5, but characteristics-wise, I still think we need that. I mean, we saw Goodmanson. If you guys watched Lazio Fiorentina today, or Fiorentina Lazio, Goodmanson came on today, changed the game. It was 2 penalties he scored, but if you actually watched the game, which I did, he came on and changed the game. Like, the way he's able to take the ball. I'm not saying we should sign Goodmanson, because obviously we can't now, but as in, that was the guy we wanted, and he still has the stuff going off the field. But we need something like that off the bench for sure. Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about that for two seasons. I've never been Dumfries' biggest fan anyway. I don't think Darmian should be a full-time right wing back anyway. If I had money, that would be even ahead of the striker position I talked about in the summer. That would be the position I would go for. This is the position I've been wanting to improve on for the last 2 seasons, not even this season, 2 seasons. I am flying to Amsterdam. I'm going there for work for a week. The moment Asllani going, I know we're going to concede. But okay. I mean, you can't blame Asllani for the goal. It was from a Di Marco foul, and Frattesi was supposed to be marking Gabbia. I know what you guys mean in terms of the substitution, but let's not again try to scapegoat Asllani on this one. And then, after conceding that goal, there was some signs of life from Inter here and there, but it wasn't that like Milan were there to be taken, but Inter were really doing too much. It seemed like they were kind of surprised by Fonseca's tactics, but here Dumfries headed it down to Lautaro, who had a kind of decent half chance but put it wide. And then here, I mean, Fonseca's lineup with this 4-2-4 or 4-4-2, he basically blocked off the middle. There was, Inter like to build up sometimes with direct balls straight into Lautaro and Thuram. And basically Milan completely stopped that. They stopped the ball to Hakan. Morata was kind of shadowing him or shielding him the whole game. But the switches of play were on all the time. And that's what, that's one thing that I don't think Inter took advantage of. They did, or maybe on Di Marco's side, especially you saw that for the goal. But they could have taken more advantage of that on Dumfries' side as well, because Milan were quite compact in this 4-2-4, 4-4-2. The switch of play was always on. And I think Inter wasted a lot of opportunities to make those quick switches of play because Milan were there for the taking. But this tactical switch from Fonseca definitely looked like it worked, and it stopped Inter from building up in the normal way that they do. And it stopped Hakan, and it stopped the balls into the two strikers, which is one of our, best ways of building up. So fair play to Fonseca. I'm concerned about Thuram Lautaro duo. I'm concerned about Lautaro at the moment. Just, we know he needs to get his goal to get going. We know that sometimes he can get into his own head when he doesn't get his goal and goes through those droughts, which he is going through right now. But to do as a duo, I thought they had a couple of decent link-up moments today. Not as good as usual, but again, as the link-ups were kind of stopped from Milan in the way that they were set up. Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that as a Milanista donating. Good to see you again. What was more off targets tonight? Into shooting or Morata's wonky eyeball? I mean, definitely into shooting. It was pretty bad today. I mean, how many shots on target did we even have? I thought probably. So we had 13 shots, only 4 on target. So, yeah, definitely Inter's shooting more than Morata's wonky eyeball. If you ask me, Inter played better than Milan. No, I completely disagree with that, Ben Jobs. We were not hungry for the win. Fonseca became a hero overnight. Yeah, already a hero overnight now. Quick review: Inzaghi was outsmarted and Mickey at start season, as well as Lauti. In my opinion, second start. Yeah. Zielinski has to start now. Loruxas is also pissed like everyone else. I can't even write how in the Milan could you build a streak that long? We're the one that makes me motivated. Well, to be fair, it puts into perspective. It isn't easy doing what Juve did, but at the same time, Serie A was a lot weaker when Juve were doing. But again, it shows you, Allegri is a criticism of him as a coach, especially right now in modern football. But there's ways of getting the best out of your players. This is what Ancelotti does, and this is what probably Allegri is able to do. So it does put into perspective what Juve were able to do, not dropping their levels after winning every season. Yeah, the right. That's what I mean. Yeah, the left. That's what Di Marco for me wasn't one of the man of the matches. But on the right, I really felt like Pavard, Dumfries gave nothing. But also switches. Like I felt like they just weren't switching that ball out to them quick enough to those guys. But at the same time, they didn't really do too much with it as well. I don't want to see Mickey on the bench. I'm done with the guy. You will, madam, bro. You just have to. I know it's not what you want to hear right now. You are really on a tear right now against Mickey, Aslani, and Fratesi, but you're going to see all of them. You're going to see all of them, bro. What we have to do is hope that they finally turn things around, especially Mkhitaryan. We can't have one of our leaders performing like this. Inzaghi torching the lads in the Woo! Yes! Yes, Simone. Yes, Simone. That's what I want to see. That's what I've been saying. I heard it on the zone and I saw him on the sidelines today. That's probably the most pissed off I've ever seen Simone Inzaghi. That is the most angry I've seen Simone Inzaghi. And he's been here for, this is, we're coming into his 4th year. And we've been through a season where we had 12 losses. And this is today, this is the angriest I've seen him. And that says a lot. So I'm not surprised. And I'm going to pull up his comments in a moment after I go through last few screenshots that I have. Thank you, Otto, for bringing that up. And here is the goal. This came from that switch of play. Barella switching the ball. What a beautiful switch of play it was, by the way. Lautaro, this is the one very quality moment he had. Holding it up. I mean, first of all, great first touch by Di Marco. Then the link up with Lautaro, world class, fake shot, nutmeg assist. And then thank you to Tomori for keeping everyone on side, keeping Di Marco on side. And then boom. I was so happy. I was celebrating this goal so hard, and I thought, yes, we're going to make a comeback. We're going to win this derby now. But no, we did not. Then we had good chances afterwards as well. Here, Magnon, world-class save on Thuram, who did a nice little turn in the box. I think this was a link-up with Lautaro here, if I remember correctly. Lautaro heading it down or nodding it down to Thuram, turns around, shoots. A really good shot, really good save from his French compatriot. But here, Thuram, I had a screenshot here of a tweet or an interview that he did before the game. This is what we wanted from Thuram. He's saying that he's trying to become much of a goal scorer. He's changing, trying to do it in training. But when he gets chances like this, completely free header in the box, and he completely mishits it. It didn't even go on target. It was way wide of the target. Still, outside of the first couple of games where he scored, especially that Genoa game, still we need Thuram to really improve in his goal scoring. We really need him because against Man City as well, he was completely misfiring. And then the Zoma show started. The Zoma show started. He kept us in this game. Let's have a look, actually, how many saves he had to make today. 6 saves. Expected goals on target faced, 2.77. He had one shaky moment where he almost gave the ball away, and then he had to slide tackle to take the ball away from Tammy Abraham. But apart from that, he was really good today. Really good. Kept us in the game. He deserved more. So this was free header for Leao. Decent save. There was a penalty given to Milan initially, but quite rightly it was cancelled because Lautaro touched it with his shoulder. So VAR doing his job there. And then, this is where probably you could say Inzaghi and Inter lost the game, right? I tweeted it incorrectly, and I also put the comment there incorrectly because it's 4 changes, not 5. But it shows the difference. One coach, 4 changes. The other at the 75th minute still hadn't make any changes. Maybe too many changes from Inzaghi. And the changes didn't really have an impact, did they? Zielinski, 74th. He should have been the first. First of all, Zielinski should have been the first sub before Fratesi, because his technical quality, passing ability, final ball ability, he should have been on before Fratesi to control the game a little bit more. But Fratesi, yeah, didn't really do too much. I mean, he had some recoveries. He did what he needed to do. It's just that in 27 minutes, yeah, we didn't really see him too much. But by that time, Inter got very confusionary. It just was kind of like they lost their head. That's what I was surprised about today. Inter, like, coming off the back of that Man City performance, I'm just disappointed with the way we reacted as well. Aslani, he completed all of his passes, but he didn't really make any incisive passes either, did he? Lost 2 duels, lost both of them. So yeah, he didn't have an impact. Then Darmian didn't have an impact either, and then Carlos Augusto didn't have an impact as well. So yeah, I definitely would have brought on Taremi at least. Even Bisek as well, to be honest. As I said, I was not impressed by Pavard's game at all today. Some wayward passing, some poor decision making, some poor defending as well from Pavard today. But yeah, the only guys I would save, to be honest, Di Marco and Zoma and Bastoni. I think those are the only 3 I would save from today's match. Lauti just for the assist, of course. He gets the bonuses for the assist, but apart from that, there was a moment where I also saw on, Lauti losing Lauti. This is also Lauti's big trait, winning duels, and look at that, lost pretty much every single duel. Awful. But yeah, the zone commentator said that Inzaghi was kind of pulling Lautaro. He pulled Lautaro to one side and told him at one moment, like, calm down, it's okay. It's okay. Like, that tells you that, he was probably getting into his own head at one point. Yeah, next up game is I think it was Udinese, right? Into fixtures, so that's not. They're a bit high flying at the moment. I think they're overperforming by quite a bit, but it has been a bit of a weird fixture for us over the last few years. Udinese away. Inzaghi cooked the players, but he also needs cooking post-ups and tactics. Yeah, of course, but who's going to cook him, Adam? Unless Marotta goes out and cooks him, but that would be very counterproductive. Yeah, let's have a look at the post-match conference now. Let's see. Yeah, so they're saying we need to speed up. 8 points in 5 games are not enough. You never hear Inzaghi saying things like this. He'll always say like, 8 points in 5 games, not that bad. Then they ask him about Fonseca's, 4-2-4. We already knew about it yesterday, so we tried that this morning. It wasn't a surprise. At the end of the day, Milan just approached it better than us. That's what happened. He's saying we didn't underestimate Milan. We know that Milan is strong. We prepared it well. Yeah, there you go. Giocato male chi ha iniziato. He's saying those who started played badly. And who entered, yeah, we were in the team. Both the subs weren't good and the starters weren't good. That's what I mean. Like, you can say like Inzaghi got his subs wrong in we can say what we can say, the tactics got wrong. Definitely Inzaghi. The fact that we were outperformed even till the 75th minute when we made those substitutions, Inter was still looking like the worst team in the game. So we can say that Fonseca got it tactically right compared to Inzaghi. But the way that our best players underperformed, and then our subs afterwards underperformed as well, to me, it didn't give me any faith whichever way that we were winning this game. This is the difference between real champions and real champions are hungry all day, every day. Yeah, 100%. That's the real champion mentality. Let's go back to Inzaghi. Okay, here. So he's saying I changed the whole midfield because in the second half we started really badly. So he kind of like punished the players. I think he must be really unhappy to sub out his boys like Hakan, Mkhitaryan, Barella. That shows you how angry and disappointed Inzaghi was. And instead, even with the substitution, very little change, yeah. So that kind of explains that he was so disappointed. That's how bad our starters played, guys. So I agree with you guys that we should not end the game with the Aslani, Fratesi, Zielinski midfield, but a Barella, Hakan, Mkhitaryan midfield was just as bad the whole game. So I'm disappointed all round. I think it's a collective flop today. Really, really collective flop. Started first half awfully. There was a bit of a reaction this first half, and then pretty much most of the second half was awful. So all round. Every time I see do a 3-man sub, it just reeks of desperation. Yeah, it does reek of desperation. But again, we know that Inzaghi is quite a level-headed guy, and the fact that he felt like he needed to change up the complete midfield, like against Monza, changed up the complete attack, brought on Correa. What was it, Correa, Taremi Arnautovic or something, like it was, showed you like desperation that he's been feeling in these couple of performances in the league. And yeah, thank you, Mattia, for reminding the peoples. We were a bit empty-headed of what he detests. Yeah, like, lackadaisical, I guess you could translate it. The defeat stings. We'll try work harder. We'll try to take something positive from a defeat that stings. Hopefully, man, we need to. We weren't clear-headed. We made the wrong choices. Then we came back badly in the second half. We had to do more. Me first, there you go. He takes responsibility as well, guys. We're bitter, especially in the derby. We have to work and analyze. We never gave the impression of being a team. 100%. We weren't a team today. Today we weren't a team. Doesn't happen often. Milan deserved to win. Look at that. Even he says Milan deserved to win. No excuses from Inzaghi, which is good to see. And there you go, Zio Bergomi as well. He's saying exactly what we've been saying, guys. If Inter don't find their attitude, they will struggle. It was clear from the first match of the championship, Inter played a good game in Genoa, better than last year, but immediately suffered lapses in concentration. They must find their attitude because they don't have players who can turn the tables, who can beat the man. So they should have settled for a draw. They should have understood the game. Instead, they will continually penetrate centrally. Yeah, that's true as well. The fact that I 1-1, we were conceding so many chances that I didn't get enough chance to get all the screenshots in, because Milan created a lot of chances. There was Okafor who should have scored. Reinders had a deflected shot that we were lucky didn't go in. Abraham here probably should have scored as well, went past Zoma. At 1-1, just, okay, today's not your day. Let's just sit back. Come back. Let's defend. Regroup. Maybe we can try hit him on the counter. But it was as if we had to win this game and we had to keep attacking. It's match day 5. Why are you losing your heads like this? Very, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Yeah, look at that. Exactly what I talked about. Daniele Mari talks about it. Inzaghi, since the beginning of the season, been trying to exercise the fear of a full belly. First press conference. Let's remember Milan Napoli post Scudetto season. Exactly. What do you mean? I'm not calm. I'm angry, but this is just my personality. I'm not a screamer or a shouter, or that's just me. But look at me. I'm you can tell I'm all red and annoyed, and now I'm not gonna be able to sleep properly. I've got an early flight in the morning, and I'm not gonna be able to sleep after that. Pieces of ruining my night, ruining all of our nights or mornings for some of you guys. Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. But yeah, guys, who we got up next? As we said, Udinese on Saturday, then Red Star Belgrade at home. So 2 perfect games, to be honest, to bounce back. Not easy, but Udinese away is tricky, but not a bad game to have to bounce back. But Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff, it's one of those weird kickoff times. Yeah. So in the league, high-flying Torino at home and then Roma away. Yeah, not very. So it's a difficult few. Yeah, we need to wake up, man. We need to wake up. Wow, Adam. No, okay. Now I understand, bro. Adam, I apologize for making fun of your comments because you woke up at 4 a.m. for this. Okay, 100%. F Aslani, F Fratesi, F Mkhitaryan, because you deserve a lot better for waking up and being a soldier at 4 a.m. and supporting the channel as well. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, no, we have been very blessed over the last year, Rodri J, with this team, the way they've been performing. But this is, yeah, I agree. It's been a while since we've had one of these therapy sessions and, you know, real disappointment sessions at Inzaghi as well, not just the players. Today, I'm really disappointed in Inzaghi too, because at the Monza one, I was really disappointed with the players. So hopefully we don't have too many more of these this season. No. I completely understand you now, Adam. 100%. If you wake up at 4 a.m. and you see this absolute dross, I would be fuming as well. So I 100% get you, and I have so much respect for you. Darmian Zelumas, yeah, an argument can be made for Bisa. Yeah, I want to see like some of these starters need to be like put into their place, not put in their place, but like, you know, given a little nudge. Like I think Bistek already is, you know, the fact that he started against Man City away, that already is giving them Pavard a little bit of a nudge. But Lautaro, please, bro, wake up. Thuram, you had a great start, but you can't. We can't just have you for 2 games. We need you consistently. And Mkhitaryan, it's time to sit on the bench for a little bit. And then we see the exact same starting lineup next week against Udinese, won't we, guys? We'll see. Oh, Martino here. I was supposed to do a match, or was trying to do a match preview with him, but he was busy with work. Congrats, Martino. You guys had to win one eventually. Congrats to you guys. Yeah, we have a very hard schedule. So yeah, keep a lookout on the channel. There won't be much content this coming week, guys, because as I said, I'm away with work until Saturday. So I'm going to struggle to make content out there unless it's like some sort of quick reaction to any big news that happens. But appreciate you guys. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Awful performance, disgraceful. Yeah, Reinders was really good for Milan. Pulisic was really good. Even Emerson Royale was good. He was way better than Calabria. Gabbia was good. Tomori was okay. Oh yeah, Dumfries lost his duel against Theo now as well. Recently, he's been winning. That shows you, again, going back to duel winning, Dumfries versus Theo has been like the theme of these derbies, and the fact that he lost it also shows that we lost the duels in general, the whole game. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you. Therapy session. Hope you enjoyed it. Ciao ragazzi. Forza Inter. Even on days like this. Ciao.